The one thing I always did for 29 years was my practice plan was scheduled every minute of every practice, and it just helps everything flow. So make sure I usually start off with passing drills. Okay, you don't want to start hitting out of the gate. I mean, especially at the higher levels, because you don't want them to blow out their shoulder early on. So I usually start with passing. Okay, so which is the most important part about volleyball is passing. Whenever you do a drill, make it a contest, or make it a time thing, or let's see, you know, I use my timer on my phone almost all the time during practice. I'll set that timer for 2 minutes, and it's like, okay, let's see how many balls we can pass the target in 2 minutes. Split your groups up, about 10 on each court.
No more than 10, yeah.
5 and 5. You're always gonna have one group shagging, one group running the drills, okay? Don't do, that way nobody's standing around. They can do their, you know, get their movement in, get their workout in, and then they can rest while they're shagging. But split your groups up into 2. Whenever you're running a drill, there's always one group doing the drill, one group shagging, and then rotate. So I might start off, my first one might be, you know, I've got 5 girls over here, you know, just passing the target. And I'm tossing. And the practices go quicker when it's quick, okay? Whenever you want, the quicker you do practice, the slower the game is. So I always want practice quicker than the game, because you get used to the speed and the movement, nonstop movement. So, you know, one little thing on footwork, just make sure that when you're passing from the left side, your left foot is forward, okay? Hips to target, okay? You know what that means? So I don't want to pass that way with this foot forward. So one thing you can do at an early age is make sure they got good footwork where they come up and it's tilt. So always say hips, ball, target. Hips, ball, target.
Yes.
So left arm out, hand over, kiss the thumbs, pull the wrist down. That flattens your base. So you really want to work on very little movement from the hip up. Okay, a lot of movement, move your feet, loud feet, quiet upper body. So you want to get there, and you just want to, you know, just keep that base together and work on a nice straight arm. That's really good at a young age. Like the little, Alex Smith's little sisters, I mean, she's had unbelievable form since she was in 2nd grade. I mean, just perfect form. You don't see that very often. A lot of times they'll want to bend their elbows or something. Work on getting that out, you know. And at the start of the drill, just line them up and say boom, 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 pull it down, keep it tight, nice flat base for passing. Maybe another practice, start off and same passing drill, but you know, they really like, you know, as far as moving, you know, a toss here and just have them come and get it, you know, move here, and then you can move over here and have them go back this way, and then switch groups or something. You know, some of the first drills are just like moving and squaring up where they actually catch the ball. They don't even pass the ball. They're just learning how to get in front of the ball, catch it, and see if they're pointing towards you, and you're up there at target. So if this is, here's your net, you know, target's just right up there in the middle. That's where you want them to pass the ball. Since they changed the rules about 10 or 15 years ago, we use our hands a lot more. So you can do the same passing drill with just setting. You know, what we want to do is develop their passing skills. We definitely want to work on their hands, where they can, you know, accept that first ball with their hands. What I say is it's a lot more accurate, that 10 fingers are a lot more accurate than 2 wrists. I mean, if you can get that hand, if you can set that ball with nice strong hands, the passing scores go up a lot. So first 15 minutes passing and movement. Build it however you want. Years ago, I spent hours just going to YouTube. Passing drills. Oh my God, I mean, just, Mike Lingenfelter, look at his drills on YouTube.
Okay.
Amazing. And everything's just fast. They just want to hit, you know, girls just want to hit. Let's do 15 minutes of hitting. Okay, this is where you break them up into 4 groups. Like if hitting pinwheel, if we have like 12 girls, we'll have 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, and 3 here. And these girls are hitting this way. And these girls are hitting this way, and then they're shagging, and then everybody just rotates around. So you hit here, you hit here, you shag here, you shag here, you hit here, and just spin it around. If you've got 9 or 10, then I would just probably just, you know, have your shaggers here, have your hitters here, and make sure that they hit from the left side, and make sure they also hit from the right side. So, you know, you got 5 girls hitting here, hit, you know, all from a toss. And then this group comes over, and then this group hits here, and then you switch, and this group, 3rd rotation hits from this side.
Okay.
And rotate.
You were sharing a court, 2 teams during practices, so you may have to get with the other coach to separate out the drills, because you're talking about hitting over the net, right?
Yes.
To the shagger. So you just may need to coordinate with the other coaches when you need the net, or do it together. I mean, some of these teams in the 1st and 2nd, we only have like 6 or 7 on the team, so you can just have one team shag and one team hit.
If you've got 18 to 20, you can do that hitting pinwheel because you got 4 or 5.
Okay. All right.
Rotating. It's a good way to spot the ball and learn how to hit it, but have the girls and half the players on one side, half the players on the other. This will help for serving too. And just have them toss the ball up with top spin 10, 15 feet up in the air. And they have to adjust a little bit so they learn how to spot the ball and hit the ball. So have them toss that ball up real high. They got to find it, move a little bit, and strike through the ball. Serving. Lot of wall space in the field house. There's nothing wrong with, you know, going out and just having them, you know, mark off 30 feet and just have them work on just serving against the wall. The one thing that you really need to work on is make sure when they toss it that they open their hips. Okay. So many girls, they toss it and the first thing that comes forward is their right foot. Okay. So it's just like, I tell them, it's like, okay, take this ball and throw it as far as you can with your right foot forward, and it's just arm, where we want them to get that whole, you know, you get your power from your core and your shoulders and your arm snap. So what we do, and going back to that toss up, it's toss, open your hips, and snap through. So they need to work on, when that ball's up, they're opening their hips to generate the power. So yeah, on the serving, demonstrate for the younger kids. Overhand serve is so hard because it's got to be a good toss. Starting with the fundamentals, you know, the first thing you got to do is you got to toss the ball forward. Okay, so I would have them move back. You know, if this is the serving line, they need to toss that ball forward and come and get it, and that will give them more momentum and more power. Because if they stand right here and they toss the ball behind them, then they lost all the power. So on serving, first thing is a good toss out in front. And knowing that the further you toss it forward, the flatter the serve. So chances are they're gonna have more power, but the first 10 are probably gonna be in the net.
What are the rules for serving? So how many serves do they attempt?
Try twice overhand, once underhand, and then a coach is tossing.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jill. Last year,
That's what I did for the younger ages, because you know, a lot of times you just don't have a serve go over for 10 points.
Yeah.
So it's 2 attempts, and if the second attempt fails, you yell free ball, send it over the net so they can at least. And you know, requiring a girl to call the ball twice is going to be up to you. If you don't hold them to it all the time, and I'm guilty of that. If you don't hold it to them all the time, then they're not going to do it all the time. So, you know, if you don't call the ball twice, you owe me 2 push-ups or whatever. But you know, keep it fun, but ingrain in them at an early age that when that ball's up there, first person that calls it gets it. Going back to this, I mean, another good one is you've got a player here and it's touch 4 where you toss a short ball and they gotta come up and get it. And then they have to go back and then they have to, because you want them to be able to move forward and backwards quickly, okay? So they come up to cover a tip and then they gotta pedal back and set the ball.
Okay.
And they touch 4, so this person goes up, back, next person up, back. That's, for maybe practice number 2, use that as your passing drill. Going back to serving, work on the form, start where they can comfortably make 3 in a row, take a step or 2 back. But it's all about open hips, rotate through, snap your wrist, snap your shoulders, snap your hips, get all that power, because if you just toss it up and it's just all arms, most of the girls can't get it all the way to the net. You can play some games there as far as teach the girls hitting zones, or serving zones, I'm sorry, not hitting zones, but they're both the same. And it's always nice that so if the serve is over here, zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So if you tell, some of the older girls, if you say, okay, I want you to serve a 1, 3, 5 combination and see if they can hit it. So a deep one, a short one, hopefully inside the 10-foot line, and a deep one down the corner. It just adds a little bit of more interest to it instead of just serving the ball over. Because eventually we want to serve to a particular person, and that person on the other team would be who? The worst passer. Setting. Grab a ball, grab a wall. Okay, it's all about working the hands and getting the reps in. So you can go, 10 short, take a step back, 10 medium, take a step back, 10 long, 10 on your right foot, 10 on your left foot. I've seen different drills. You can have them do a skip set around the gym where they're just up and set and set and set. Because when you look at a set, really, a lot of times they're skipping off of 1 foot if they're coming late to the ball. You can put them on the floor and just say, okay, set the ball while you're sliding and see who can go the farthest.
Do a relay.
Do a relay.
Yeah.
We really need to work on 3 contacts.
Okay.
And pass the ball to the setter, set the ball, and get a strike on it. Not easy at the younger ages for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get in 4th, 5th, 6th grade, they should be doing 3 contacts and not just sending the ball over the net.